So to answer your question, do you need a CA? It's very subjective. It depends. Financial traps, number one is your EMI. Many people, their monthly income close to 50 to 60%, they spend it on just paying their EMIs. If you ask me, credit cards are an amazing tool, but you should not fall into the debt trap.
Biggest mistakes people make with their first salary.
So this lifestyle inflation is the most common thing where people make their biggest mistakes. One BCom graduate who is a coder in an IT company at a managerial level. As per the statistics released by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, there are only 4,23,000 chartered accountants. And out of that, only roughly around 1,54,000 chartered accountants are in practice.
In India?
Yes. And not necessary that after commerce it's only CA. There are a lot of other courses which people are not aware of. It could be
Back in PUC, I joined commerce because I thought science is for toppers and arts for failures. Today's guest is a legend in something I've never understood: numbers. Hi, Vikram.
Hi Sanjeeth.
So, why do we need a CA?
Okay, when you have cold or you have fever, you just take a paracetamol and it'll be fine. But let me take one more scenario. You have weakness, you have fever, you have cold. What do you decide to do? You decide to go to a doctor.
Right.
Taking the same scenario, let's take an example of a person who has just salary income and other income. He can file returns on his own because income tax is now guided. It can help you fill the data and you can file returns on your own. But sometimes there'll be some complexities. For example, you sell a property, you don't know how to include it in your returns. Or today, many people are investing in shares, mutual funds. They have sold it, so they don't know how to include it in their income tax returns. So in such cases, the best thing to do is to reach out to a CA who will guide you in these matters. So to answer your question, do you need a CA? It's very subjective. It depends.
Benefits that loans provide.
Normally, people think that loans are a burden. But let me give you an example. You are into business, you are maybe an entrepreneur, or you are maybe a professional. You take a vehicle loan. Normally, if you take the vehicle, only the depreciation gives you a benefit. But if you take a vehicle loan, the depreciation as well as the interest, provided that vehicle is used for the business, it will give you that benefit to reduce your profit. Reducing profit means reducing your taxes thereon. So it's not necessary that every time loans are a burden.
Right. Makes sense. Makes sense to those who actually want to think about it, because
Yes.
otherwise there are a lot of ways we just lose money,
Yes.
and taxes are one way you can
Yes.
not.
Yeah, it's a good tax saving investment, but that does not mean you buy an expensive vehicle just to show off about it. But it always helps in your tax planning as well.
Financial traps that first time home buyers should avoid.
Financial traps, number one is your EMI.
Okay.
Many people, their monthly income close to 50 to 60%, they spend it on just paying their EMIs. If you ask me, the best thing even your financial advisor will give you is at least 30 to 35% of your monthly income should go towards your EMI, number one. Second one, what people do not do is not reading the fine lines of a loan agreement. Like, for example, when you take a housing loan and you buy a house, they give you a repayment holiday of 1 year. People think that they can start paying after 1 year. But what they don't know is after 1 year, that interest gets accumulated to the principal, and from year 2, they will pay the interest on the interest plus the principal along with their EMI. So I hope you get the logic behind it.
It's a well constructed trap, I must say.
Yes, exactly. So people do not realize it. So always read the fine lines of the agreement.
The fine print.
Yes.
Anything else that they should be aware of?
Few other things are not doing a proper due diligence before buying. Like, let's say you're taking a home loan, not doing a due diligence on the property. If you ask me, even if you're taking the family from a relative, make sure you take hold of a lawyer who will do a proper due diligence, and he will tell you whether the title deeds are fine, whether there is any encumbrance, so that tomorrow, Once you stay in the house, you don't have any problem. So you have your peace of mind.
I heard a tough word, encumbrance. What is it for our viewers?
Encumbrance means, let's say you took a loan on a property, and if you do not repay it, banks will try to attach it to you so that you do not sell the property. You're not able to sell the property to someone else. So when the next person comes in and looks at your property, if you want to sell it, he will look at that encumbrance saying that you have taken a loan from this particular bank. So if you want to sell it, first you have to clear that encumbrance, and only then you can sell the property. So encumbrance could be anything. It could be because you took a loan from the bank and you did not repay it, or maybe you did not pay some taxes. For example, income tax, GST. They tried all possible means to find you. They could not find you. Finally, they found your property, and they'll add land areas as a part of your encumbrance.
Yeah,
So if you want to sell it, you have to clear that. Only then you'll be able to sell the property.
What we call attachment, or
Yeah,
land
attachment.
being attached.
Yes. But attachments means you'll not be able to sell it altogether. Here they'll just put an encumbrance so that the next person who buys it from you will be aware.
There are murderers, there are serial killers, and then there are credit cards. What's your take?
If you ask me, credit cards are an amazing tool, but you should not fall into the debt trap. I'll give you an example. Credit cards today give you a lot of cashbacks. They help you build your credit score as well. This credit score ultimately in the years to come, if you plan on taking a housing loan or a vehicle loan, it helps you. But the moment you get into that debt trap of a credit card, then credit card becomes more of a killer, you can say. Like, for example, you are living from hand to mouth. As soon as you get your salary, it goes into you repaying your credit card debt. So it does not make sense there. So credit card, you should always use it wisely.
Any tips for this?
I'll give you an example. You are planning to buy maybe a ticket for an airline, okay? Not a luxury, because you actually want to travel. So you can use your credit card, and this money, you have the money, but you're still using the credit card. Then you will keep this money aside in maybe an investment tool, make a small FD out of it till you get your repayment loan statement. So this window helps you get your interest, which is your income. I'm not talking about the credit card interest, the money you have kept aside in an FD. And the moment it comes for you to repay this credit card, take it out from here and repay the credit card. So you're earning income, and at the same time, you're repaying your credit on time.
Okay, will there be a difference here
In what sense?
in the amount?
A small difference, but it helps you.
Negligible amount.
Yes, negligible amount, yes. But imagine as the amount grows, because credit cards are never small amounts, but as the amount grows, it definitely helps you. So to add on to your interest paid, so the interest you earn here, you will pay your interest on the credit card only if you miss your repayment.
Okay.
For example, they will tell you minimum you have to repay so much, but maximum outstanding is so much. So you decide to repay your entire outstanding, because if you miss that, then credit card interest can almost be close to 1.5% per month. That comes to 18% per year. So what you can do is put it in an FD for the short term, and as your repayment holiday, as your credit card repayment comes close by, you can take it out from this FD and put it here, and you're earning income, and at the same time you're having your money with you, and ultimately you can repay your credit card.
That as a debit card user, it went above my head, but I'm sure the credit card users and my viewers would totally understand with the working of this.
Yes. Basically, don't fall into the debt trap, basically.
Biggest mistakes people make with their first salary.
Biggest mistake people do with their first salary. Today we have heard of this term called as lifestyle inflation.
Right.
So what is lifestyle inflation? I have a phone which is working absolutely fine. It'll stay with me for the next 5 years. But I still decide to buy an expensive phone which is living above my means. I can carry on with this phone for the next 5 years, but I decide to take my entire salary and I use it to buy a phone which is not really a necessity at the moment. So this lifestyle inflation is the most common thing where people make their biggest mistakes with their first salary, to be honest.
Okay. So I have my phone here from the past 5 to 6 years. Touch wood. Whenever I find wood, I'll touch it. Not now. But then I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
There's this pressure that if you're in commerce and don't do CA, you're useless. Also, I know that CA pass percentage is around just 10%. How hard is it to be a CA, according to you?
Okay. CA as a course requires a lot of focus and discipline. I'll give you a reason why students, what I see as a pattern, initially we never fail from our KG all the way till, maybe our 12th or degree.
Most of them.
Most of them, right? But the first time sometimes people face failure is when they have their CA exams. It could be the foundation, intermediate, or final. These are the three levels in CA. So when that happens, you can either take it two ways. You get demotivated and you quit it halfway, or you take it as a positive that failures are a part of life and move forward. So that percentage of people getting demotivated is much more than people staying motivated. So that is number one reason why CA is difficult. Second reason, you may have mugged all through your school and all through your college, and that would have helped you because teachers, I mean, even you have taken commerce.
I have mugged.
Yes, and in that your teacher would have told you write 15 pages if you want 10 marks, and if you want to get 20 marks, write 40 pages, right? Quantity rather than quality, right? But in CA, that is not the case. It's quality more of rather than quantity. So you may have not taken additional sheets, but still you will pass.
Oh.
Right? But what is important is whether you have returned to the point or not. Yes. And not necessary that after commerce it's only CA. There are a lot of other courses which people are not aware of. It could be CS, which is company secretary. Then there is CMA, cost and management accountants. And there are a lot of other courses. But self-awareness is also important because the only thing that people think after commerce is CA, but that's not true.
CFA as well.
CFA as well. So CFA is a US-based certification. Then there is CMA US. Then there is CIA, which is Certified Internal Auditor. There is CFE, Certified Fraud Examiners. So there are a lot of courses. But what is important is you have to go and do your research.
One sentence each. Could you break down the major 4 or 5 of these for our audience?
Okay. CA is more of focus towards audit and tax. Okay. Then you have company secretary. They are more of focus towards company law.
Corporate law.
Yeah, corporate law. Okay. And then you have cost and management accountants. They are more of focused towards this term called as cost accounting. So what cost accounting? Every manufacturing company has to maintain cost records. So for them, mandatory one cost accountant is required or a CMA. So, and then you have CFA, which is a US based, and this is called as financial analyst. So if you want to get into this investment banking or, for an financial
mutual
analyst,
funds.
mutual funds, right? So then CFA is one of the preferred courses.
All right. And what if someone doesn't want any of these? What do they do?
That's their choice.
I mean, just BCom and then an MBA. Where do they end up?
So
Are they useless like how people say?
I'll not put it that way. I'll put it in a better manner. There could be a CA also who may be useless with this degree.
Nice way to put it.
But what is the reason? Today you have AI. Okay, the world is evolving rapidly. So if I'm someone who is still thinking of the traditional courses, it could be a doctor, it could be a lawyer, it could be a CA or any profession for that matter. If we are not evolving with the changing scenario, then it becomes difficult. It's a cutthroat environment. So I have come across one BCom graduate who is a coder in an IT company at a managerial level. Okay. And then I've come across a doctor who is building 3D models and he has a startup of his own. So you can imagine, like, I'm not telling that they are not good at their job, but they have done something with the evolving scenario. So you cannot think of
Professions.
You cannot think just doctor, medicine, lawyer, CA or whatever. So today with the changing environment, it could be AI, it could be anything. You also need to see how you can add value. So it's not only about the BCom degree, it can happen even to the CA degree. It can even happen to the medicine as a profession, anything for that matter.
So you're saying the others who don't take up these competitive exams can find value in what they do and then add it to society and then get paid by it.
Yes. In fact, I know of a BCom, as I told you, one BCom graduate who learned coding, Python, and today he's in a managerial level at an IT company. So, so it's not necessary that
Yeah, the other traditional forms are also management and banking and all
Yes,
of these,
yes,
right? Or
yes.
being an entrepreneur.
Sorry?
Or being an entrepreneur,
Yes,
own
or
wise.
being an entrepreneur as well.
Now, for a 10th standard kid watching this, if they want to be a CA, what's the process?
You can start your journey for CA after 10th standard, where you'll have to register, and after your 12th exam, you can give the foundation. Number one. So there are 3 levels in CA: the foundation, intermediate, and final level. But if you do not want to write the foundation, your next step is you can do your graduation, where you will not have to write your foundation exams. You can directly start off with your intermediate. So intermediate, once you finish your degree, you can join at the intermediate level.
Lateral entry, yes.
Yes. And then if you want to write your final exam, mandatory 2 years you have to do your articleship under a chartered accountant. That is not optional, it is mandatory. And once you finish your 2 years of articleship, you'll have to have 6 months of gap. And after that, you can give your final exam, which is made up of 6 papers, and you will be a chartered accountant.
Okay, that was short and sweet.
Yes.
Are there too many CAs in India?
Honest answer, no. If I tell you the recent statistics, you'll be surprised. So we are a population of 1.4 billion, and as per the statistics released by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, there are only 4,23,000 chartered accountants. And out of that, only roughly around 1,54,000 chartered accountants are in practice.
In India?
Yes. And now by 2047, we are poised to grow to a $30 trillion economy. And there are if I talk to you about statistics, then you'll again realize that there is a shortage. There are 7.9 crore MSMEs. There are more than 20 lakh companies. There are more than 30 lakh audit reports filed during the financial year 24-25. And the number of chartered accountants, specifically into practice, is only 1,54,000. So you tell me whether the statistics add up or not.
I think any other profession would have more number of professionals.
Yes. And even in one of the recent address by the ICI president, he said that by 2050, we need 50 lakh chartered accountants.
So I'm sure there are more politicians than CAs in India then, in that case.
You can say that.
Or any other profession.
In fact, the Prime Minister also said the signature of a chartered accountant has more value than that of a Prime Minister.
So I think we'll end it here.
Yes.
I don't want to pull it because just like a CA exam paper, we're keeping it short and specific and valuable.
Yes.
Thanks for being on the Random Faxx with Sanjeeth Rodrigues.
Yes. Thank you.